Hey everybody, I'm your host, John Myers, live from Stillwater, Oklahoma. We have got a great show tonight. It's John Myers. Hey everybody. Gotta have my notes. It's John Myers from the Kicker UnMasked studios. Gotta have my notes. Alternator. Hey everybody. We have fun. Hey everybody. Hit like and subscribe. Right here, right now. It's John Myers. We like to give stuff away. Alternator. Post some more pictures. We got to thank Steve and Becky live from Stillwater, Oklahoma. Don't forget Texas Roadhouse right here, right now. Hey everybody. Don't forget right here, right now. We have got a great show tonight. Hey everybody. Had a great dinner tonight. It's John Myers. Right here, right now. Had a great dinner tonight. So, hey everybody. So, housekeeping. Had a great dinner tonight. So, alternator. Housekeeping. Housekeeping. So, Tuesday night. Housekeeping. From the Kicker UnMasked studios. Housekeeping. Right here, right now. Hey everybody. So, it's John Myers. Hey everybody. It's John Myers from the Kicker UnMasked studios. Hey everybody. From the Kicker UnMasked studios. It's John Myers. Right here, right now. We have got a great show tonight. Hey everybody. We have got a great show tonight. It's John Myers. Hey everybody.
Right here.
Hey everybody, it's Tuesday night at 7:30. Welcome to the UnMasked Studios. We're coming to you live from Stillwater, Oklahoma, the Kicker National Headquarters. Hey, we got a great show tonight. We're going to be talking about the event called Kicker in Bricktown. We're going to have Denny, Eddy, and Stacy Stowers on, and it's going to be a fun show. So stay tuned, and we'll see you in a minute.
Something that's your hands on the wheel, got a sexy touch. It's enough to make me and my Chevy blush. Showdown. Take it all. Off that highway, turn me on. I'll let you drive, babe. You can take it fast as you want to. Girl, little dirty looks damn good on you. Start me up, stones on the radio. Girl, I love it when you let go. Don't waste your way in the wrong way. Get off on some 4x4 play.
Welcome back to Unmasked Live, where we do this show every Tuesday night at 7:30 on the Kicker YouTube and Facebook channel. We talk about all things car audio, and we even give away some stuff too. So if this is your first time, stay tuned, and we'll tell you how to win some cool stuff. As always, we got a great crew. We got Tim back behind the camera, manning it like he always does in a manly manner. We've got Ernie in back. I think we got JW back from vacation. Good to have you back, JW. And of course, Bill Frog down there in the bottom right. You guys look like you're slightly out of skew or something with the resolution on that camera, so Bill looks like he's all scrunched together, but those guys are keeping the show all put together for us, and hey, I bet you'll never guess, we had Roadhouse again tonight. I guess I never get tired of steak. Dead cow's always good because I am a meatitarian or whatever you want to call it. So awesome dinner. It's always nice to be able to do that with the gang, and once again, thank you to Steve and Becky for letting us do this and having dinner together every night. Make sure if you like the show, hit like and subscribe. We want to make sure to keep on doing this. We don't get any money for doing this. It just lets us know that you guys are tuning in and having fun. And speaking of tuning in and having fun, if you guys have some subjects you want us to cover, you know, car audio wise, or you got a special guest you want on the show, if it's at all within our power, we'll try to put it on the air for you. We want to tailor this show for exactly what you guys want. So once again, send in your ideas. And if you have any questions, getting technical questions, once again, don't forget to email us at support@kicker.com. We'll be featuring some questions here in just a little bit, some cool things that people write in. And, you know, you'll get some pretty odd ones now and then, but sometimes they're kind of funny, and sometimes they can be a bit of a challenge. That's what really makes it fun. Events. We got some cool events going on. First thing I want to talk about is what's going on right here in Stillwater, Oklahoma this weekend. Saturday morning, about 8 o'clock till noon, we're having our usual Cars and Coffee, where if you're in the Stillwater area on Saturday morning, come by with your cool car or any old car. Just come by and hang out with a bunch of car people. There's always snacks, and we get some door prizes, and you get to meet a bunch of fun people that just like cars in general. Oh, don't forget bikes. There's always a lot of motorcycles here too. The other thing that's going to be very exciting, we're proud to host Cruising Oklahoma is coming here Sunday morning. They're going to be leaving from Luther, Oklahoma at the high school about 9 o'clock Sunday morning, and they will be traveling up here to the Stillwater facility. And these events get pretty large and out of control. I think, they've had as many as 1,200 cars at some of these events. So we don't have room for that many cars up here. So hopefully we won't overrun the population. But if you guys are out and about, come by the facility Sunday and check out Cruising Oklahoma. And make sure you look at their website and find out where they're going next month. It's always a good time, always a bunch of cool people, and a bunch of really cool rides. So don't forget about that. This weekend, one of my partners and co-hosts up on the show, Aaron Malin, is going to be in Atlanta for the Skills USA event. That's where they get a bunch of people, they put together, programs to teach people how to do all kinds of things. A couple of weeks ago, we went to Tulsa when they were having an event there. There were guys doing brickwork, they were framing houses, they were doing electrical, they were doing plumbing, they were doing robotics. So if you want to learn a special skill, look at Skills USA. It's kind of a neat program, and it's got locations all over the country. So that being said, I'm going to put on my old man glasses here, and we're going to go to the laptop here if Ernie doesn't mind. We're going to go to our Kicker YouTube channel, obviously. We're going to pull this up, and if you guys want to see what's going on, where we're going to be, and what kind of events we're going to be participating in, go ahead and log on to the Facebook page, and then click the More button that you see right here, and go down to Events. Now, it gets kind of crazy. Now, of course, we're making it loud in OKC. This is going to be a great event. That's going to be tonight at 7:30. That's us right now. Gotcha, didn't I? So you were thinking, is that a new event? Nope, that's this one. Thought I'd see if you guys were paying any attention. So Thunder in the Smokies, another Base Wars event. That should be a lot of fun, and the Smoky Mountains are awesome. That's going to be Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. And Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, we're having the KC Showdown. I think the guys might talk about that a little bit. That's going to be a lot of fun. So, and of course, it's going to be more Base Wars. And don't forget Base Wars in Norman. That's going to be this Sunday at 10 o'clock. So if you're in the Norman area, which is south of Oklahoma City, come check out Base Wars down there. That's going to be a loud and fun event also. And don't forget Twisted Audio Creations. This is going to be Saturday, July 2nd at 3 o'clock. And the list goes on and on. So make sure you guys check out where we're going to be and what events are going to be near your territory. And, if we're going to cover these events, they got to be good, because we only like to do the really fun things. So try to get out and check out one of these events. And, we're going to be talking about a really special event that's coming up in July here in a little bit. So we always give away stuff. And how do we give things away? Well, if you go to kicker.com/umweekly, you can register. And here's the page that you can see. And this is where you go ahead and click on here to enter. As we do every week, we're going to give away 3 prizes to 3 lucky winners. And once again, this can be Canada too. I mean, we get a lot of people tuning in from all over the world. We've had people from South Africa, Australia, New Zealand, South America, Europe, the UK. Got people tuning in from all over the world to watch the show. So once again, we've got arrangements with Canada to get stuff up to you, but we don't have arrangements with the rest of the world as of yet. We're working on it. We're trying to decrease the size of this planet so we all get a little bit more connected. But as always, the third prize winner is going to get the EB400 wireless earbuds. You're also going to get the gray unmasked t-shirt, which you see right back here, and you're going to get the kicker koozie. The second prize winner is going to get the Tabor headphones, and those are going to be Bluetooth as well. They're a wireless over-the-ear headphone. They sound phenomenal. You're also going to get the great t-shirt and a koozie. And that grand prize winner is going to get the Cush NCs, or the Cush no-canceling headphones. No, not no-canceling, noise-canceling headphones. And I absolutely love mine. I think, I've just about worn them out. I use them just about every night. So make sure you get online to register. Make sure you put all your information in there, and we will actually give these prizes away at about 8:45. We will shut the registration off at 8:30. That gives the guys time to tally up the winners. And you never know, it just might be you. And in fact, we give away so much on the show. Some of you guys have probably won this several times. You're probably getting a little collection of headphones and t-shirts and koozies going on. So that's always going to be fun. And as we keep looking through here, like I say, don't forget to check out the Kicker Facebook page. If we go over here, here's a fun little picture. Our good buddy Andy McGill and Living Loud with Andy, he received his quad box. I don't know if he got it last Friday or if he got it Monday, yesterday, but he got the quad box. He ordered in and came in, and there you see a picture of his daughter with the quad box. And yes, by the look on her face, she says, wow. So congratulations, Andy. Pardon? That's your son? Sorry. See, I don't have my glasses on. Sorry, Andy. See, I've never met your son, so that's why I can't tell. So, and yes, this is live. We do screw up occasionally, or if you're like me, you screw up quite a bit. But don't forget to sign on to Andy's page, which is the Kicker Club. There's a lot of good people in there that answer just about any audio question you can have. Whether you've got problems, you have, gears, choices that you're not sure what you need to make. So make sure you guys sign on and be a part of the Kicker Club. Alrighty. Also, don't forget on Instagram. Kicker's always got a great Instagram page. Bill Frog does a great job of pulling up all. I think we're gonna. I've been radioed from the back here. They got a little video they're gonna play that Andy sent in, or hot off the press. This is directly from Andy, so fire that video up there.
Pick up a package.
Okay.
How cool was that? Congratulations, Andy, on your new purchase. And yes, it fit in that vehicle a little bit better once you took it out of that cardboard box. But How cool. If you guys have some cool videos like that you want to send to us, reach out to Bill Frog. And if you got some videos unboxing some kicker gear or some installs or, a view of your vehicle, send that to Bill. We'd like to show it on the air. In fact, if you got install pictures you want to send, cool pictures of your ride with all your kicker gear, send that to us as well. We want to put those up on the air and show everybody your cool systems. So with that being said, we're going to go to the next segment, which is going to be reader questions. These are questions that were sent in to support@kicker.com. Those guys are really good at answering questions. We got a great force of 4 guys up there that answer questions all day long. And of course, they stack up overnight and they dive right into them first thing in the morning to make sure you get a good, quick response. So question number 1, it's kind of an interesting question. It's really kind of a neat question, and you don't get this question a lot. It says, I want a 24 dB per octave crossover for my subwoofer and my sound system, but I don't have DSP. Well, that's okay. Just so you know, and then there's going to be more to this question. DSP, digital signal processing, is not just crossovers. So you can have crossovers without DSP, but once again, if you don't have DSP, then you don't get the digital signal processing. But the question continues. If I apply an 80 hertz 12 dB per octave crossover at my radio for the subwoofer output and also set my amp crossover at 80 hertz at 12 dB per octave, do the crossover stack to 24 dB per octave? Or is there another way to achieve this? And yes, you are right. When you do stack the crossovers, they do multiply. So you can stack the two 12 dB per octave crossovers. If you set them at the same frequency, you're going to get a 24 dB per octave crossover on your subwoofers, which, if you got one of our amplifiers, all of our amplifiers have 24 dB per octave subwoofer crossovers and a high-pass crossover to low frequency, otherwise known as a subsonic filter, also at 24 dB per octave, and those are anywhere from 10 to 80 hertz, and if they're not adjustable, they're fixed at 25. It's a great question. The only problem you may have, and it gets kind of weird and funky, is if you don't set them at the same frequency, because then you're going to have a slope that actually changes the grade midway through the frequency response. So that's going to be a little awkward, and then you might actually have some phasing issues. But yes, you can stack the passive and active crossovers. You can stack 2 passive crossovers, or you can stack 2 active crossovers together to get that 24 dB per octave. All right, another cool question that I thought was kind of interesting. It says, could I use one of your 12-inch passive radiators that are sold separately with the 12-inch L7 subwoofer or possibly the L7T? If not, could I use 2 10-inch passives? Well, what's really interesting, if you guys look at the website and you look at the owner's manual on those passives, we actually built those specifically for certain woofers. So we tell you what woofers to use, and that's the Comp RT woofer, and it also is going to tell you what volume to build the enclosure. Now, passive radiators are kind of cool. They're really kind of a challenge if you have never messed with them. But if you want to have a little challenge and have some fun, give it a shot. So here's what's going to happen with the passive radiator. They're going to work like a port on a ported enclosure, but the whole advantage is the box can remain very small. So now, the key is, 1 passive, 2 passives, the size of the passive. A lot of it's trial and error. If you don't have a program that allow you to specifically calculate, the passive radiators, and you have to have the parameters on the passive. You have to have the weight, and you have to have the moving mass and the excursion capabilities of that passive for that program to work properly. But what you can do is you can build an enclosure, a sealed enclosure, and it may take some trial and error. So build a sealed enclosure and start off with 1 passive radiator. And as you turn it up to the power output that you're looking for, the frequencies you're going to play, if you hear that passive radiator starting to pop, that means it's trying to overdrive itself. It's actually reaching the ends of its excursion. That's when you would need to add a second passive radiator. Now, the key is when you add the second passive radiator, it actually increases the tuning frequency. So how do you get the tuning frequency lower? Well, one way you can do that is to increase the size or the air volume in the box, make a bigger sealed box with the passive radiators. Or the other thing you can do, which is how you actually tune a passive radiator system, is add mass to the passives. So by adding weight, which you can do that in the form of putty or silicone, or some passives actually have a bolt through the center that you can bolt steel washers or some weights onto them. Ours, like I say, you can just go ahead and you keep stacking some hard cardboard on it with silicone, or like I say, some of that plumber's putty that's really sticky, heavy putty that you get to plug the leaks in your plumbing. That's what we actually use here in the company. It's just like a clay. It never really hardens really hard, but it allows you to, mold it, and then you can tear some away or you can add more to it, so you can really tune that specifically. But if you build the enclosure for, a single passive and you turn it up and you're not getting the passive radiator to bottom out, you can tune that enclosure lower by adding more mass to that single passive radiator. Just remember, there's always give and take. When you add mass to a passive radiator, you're going to take away some of the efficiency. So because you're adding weight to it, it's going to take more power to get the output. So you're going to reach kind of that equilibrium where, you can't run any more power to the speaker because you're going to burn it up or bottom it up, and the passive, you just can't tune it any lower. So it really is kind of trial and error if you don't have a program, but it's actually kind of fun to experiment with this, and you might have some pretty good luck. So, I don't have a 100% answer for that question. It's just going to depend on your listening tastes and how much you want to experiment. So, but great question. Thanks for sending that one in. Third question of the night. After adding a 12-inch subwoofer into the trunk of my vehicle, the bass sounds so much better. However, there's always a however. There's always a catch in these questions. My rear deck speakers sound worse. I mean, you just can't hear them anymore. Well, we're going to continue here. Almost like they are distorted. I did notice they seem to be moving a lot more than usual. I didn't make any changes to the speakers or wiring for those speakers. What could be causing this? Well, that's a pretty easy question to answer, and what generally causes that specific problem is the pressure from the subwoofers is actually moving the rear speakers. It didn't say if they were a 6.5 or a 6x9 or even a 4x10, but when you have a large subwoofer system and the trunk is fairly well sealed, and the back of the seat of the vehicle is completely sealed, or it's got pretty dense material. If it's just foam, it'll actually breathe fairly well. But what's going to happen is those pressure waves that are developed by your subwoofer enclosure are going to interfere with those rear speakers. And I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, if you look in the rear deck of a car, when you slam the trunk lid, they actually pop up too when you do that. So that's what's happening. You're actually having, a negative effect of the subwoofers on your rear speakers because they're forcing them to move. Now that may be in phase, it may be out of phase at the frequencies that you're playing, and it may be way too much for those speakers to handle that cone travel. So the big question is, how do you fix this? Well, the easiest thing to do is turn down your subwoofer, but that's no fun. We don't want to do that. We want to keep it turned up, don't we? So the best way to do it is you're going to have to build some type of enclosure underneath your rear speakers to isolate their airspace from the airspace in the trunk that's being affected by the subwoofers. One of my first cars, way back in 1989, I had an 88 Thunderbird and did exactly that. I had 4 6.5s in the rear deck in 2 sealed enclosures because we were running 3 vented 10s, and we ran into the same problem. It affected the rear speakers. So once we boxed them in, we got that tight mid bass back. We got the, just basically the sound returned back to normal. So that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to isolate those rear speakers from the rest of the vehicle. So, it's time for another fun section that I really like to do. We're going to feature some viewers' rides. So I'm going to pull this file up on my computer. Ernie, give me just a second if you don't mind, because I forgot to have this staged and ready to go. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to do cool install pictures. So if you can go ahead and pull up my laptop, Ernie. This is a very interesting vehicle, and I might be a little biased. And you guys may or may not believe this, but this vehicle right here is a 1973 Buick Electra, and I used to ride around in this exact car with the owner in high school. So yes, we actually had cars back then, and we actually didn't have this nice a stereo system back then. But this is one of my best friends, Rod Essman, who's been restoring this car and bringing this thing back to absolute pristine condition. It's got a KXA 800.5 amplifier, and if you guys recognize that woofer, that's one of the old Solo Barrack classic woofers, which was kind of a remake of the Solo Barracks before we went to the square woofers. Also one of my favorite woofers. He's got a fuse holder right back to make sure that everything's fused and protected. Another little view of that trunk. And the funny thing is, Rod hates green, but the car just happened to have green interior, so he stuck with it. But beautiful detail work, very clean. I can't wait to actually get up to Nebraska and hear this in person myself. He just sent me these pictures this week after he got the system done. Now this is the console on that Buick. you know, it still looks original. It's got that original radio in there, but a little trick up its sleeve. If you flip that console door open, we've got one of our marine media centers. So that's the KMC2 powering that entire system. So yes, you can use marine radios in car audio. So Rod, beautiful work on that car. I can't wait to see it in person. And once again, you guys be sure to send in some of your pictures as you have those. Next pictures here, we have a little golf car, and it is utilizing some of our KM65 speakers. Those are marine rated 6.5-inch coax, and they put the LED light rings behind those speakers for a little added effect. So great visual there, makes everything look really cool. On the back of it, looks like they've got one of the KM10 subwoofers. It's actually in, it looks like a sealed enclosure, so that's probably the KM and not the KMF. The KMF10 is the free air infinite baffle woofer that's got a little bit tighter suspension if you don't have an enclosure. And the last picture of this vehicle, it's got a really nice glow to it, and I bet this is a lot of fun at night to drive this thing around and draw a lot of attention, and I bet it sounds killer too. So great, simple, cool install. I'm not really sure what we have for a source unit on that one, but we hope it's a kicker source unit, and if it's not, that's okay too, because we play very nicely with others. Here's another vehicle, and if I remember, I think we saw this one at Slamology 2 weeks ago. Great look of the KXA amplifiers, and inside it looks like we have 12 I think they're the Comp VX woofers. So awesome vehicle, and I do know for a fact those are heavy because there's some other pictures, and one of Ernie's buddies had me do a system for him, and we put 16 12-inch Comp VX woofers in his vehicle, and oh man, that thing was loud. It about tore that camper shell apart. So great pictures, guys. Thanks again for bringing those in. And here's another vehicle we saw at Slamology. This is a really neat little, I think this was a Subaru, but really nice touch and attention to detail on this vehicle. All the KX amplifiers in the back. He's got the audio control processor, but clean wiring, everything's matched, everything's symmetrical and looks nice. And lo and behold, in the back seat, we have a whole lot of 10-inch L7 woofers. In fact, we've got 6 of them in the back. So this thing pounded pretty good. So congratulations on an absolutely gorgeous install. The thing looks incredible. So that was the good side of everything. And now I suppose we need to go to the downside. We need to go to the fails. So kind of tonight's topic on fails is properly mounting gear. Obviously, under the hood is not the best place to mount your amplifier. First of all, the hood moves, and of course the wiring's got to move with it, and now you've got all the wiring pulling down on the connections to the amplifier. So that's not necessarily good, but you've also got the fact that you've got an amplifier that's not designed to be out in the elements, and under the hood of a vehicle is very extreme as far as elements go. Heat and fumes and water splashing up from the road. Not really suggested that you do this type of install. I mean, we don't even recommend you put them on a trunk lid because it's just not the best way to mount your amplifier and have the best overall effect. Another funny picture I pulled off the internet. Always make sure that your vehicle remains functional, even with your car audio. So, there's sometimes you can give up a little bit of room, but never give up safety and never give up the ability to drive your vehicle. So, yeah, I think that enclosure is just a little too large for that vehicle. And if you are mounting your speakers with the proper adapters and doing them properly, and you've got nice mounting techniques, make sure you mount the speakers in the proper direction. Yes, this is the rear deck of a vehicle, and these speakers are facing downward. While it's probably going to have decent bass response, you're probably not going to hear any of the vocals or the high frequencies because they're going to be trapped within the vehicle. And it's kind of funny, I almost pulled up a picture of another vehicle I worked on a few months ago, which was a 70 Chevelle convertible. They actually put the rear speakers in the trunk underneath the convertible top facing backwards. Almost as bad as this is right here, but that's probably the convertible version of it. And if you don't have any room to put your amplifiers, why not just cut them right into the seats? So, some of these are kind of creative. It's like, I'm not sure how comfortable that is to ride on, but definitely didn't really help the comfort and seating ability of that vehicle. But hey, if you got to have your audio, and it's the most important, do what you got to do, but try to do it safely and do it nice. Now, this is not a fail. I wanted to throw this in because I have never seen anyone do anything like this before, and I just thought it was pretty darn cool. They actually built windows into the side of the vehicle to display the amplifier and the capacitor. So just really kind of cool. Definitely not a fail, but just different ways to do things, and that's kind of the cool thing about car audio, finding new and challenging ways to do something different to make your system stand out from somebody else's. And the final picture is, yes, you can make it work sometimes, and it might even sound good, but here again, the use of proper tools. I don't think a tool was used to cut that door panel unless it was a pair of pliers. Pliers are not designed to cut plastic, or maybe you had a pit bull and it decided to chew through your door panel and decided to mount a speaker there instead, but it probably works. In fact, it's even got a carpeted baffle behind the speaker, so it's probably sealed pretty good up to that door panel, but cosmetically, probably not the greatest. So, kind of funny pictures. Hope you guys have fun with that. And if you guys have some of your own, I know some of you guys have sent me some pictures earlier this week. I definitely have one in the file, and you never know when those are going to pop up. So that's going to bring us to the kind of meat and potatoes of the show, kind of the bare bones. I'd like to bring up our special guest tonight. We got Denny, Eddy, and Stacy Stowers. These guys are from KC Showdown.
Hey, John.
Yes, Jeremy's yelling at me.
What questions we got real quick?
Up, we got questions coming up, so hang on, guys. Stay over there for just a second. All right. Jason Graham, is there any info on when the Solo XL7 will be released? Yes, it will be released by the end of this year. That's about as much as I can tell you. We're calling it Q4, quarter four, which is the last 3 months of the year. But the 12-inch has been finalized. It's completely done. It's in production as we speak. It's just a matter how long it takes them to produce them and get them shipped over here. And it's all going to depend on the shipping lines and the production lines. But yes, they are coming, so get ready for that one. So Star Fox asks, "Does anyone help me out?" Or, well, we're going to try. So can anyone help me put? I'm sure you meant out. So that's about the way I type anymore, especially if I do a text message and don't look at it with my glasses. Who knows what you're going to get. But his question is, I'm wondering if I can run 3-way components in the front doors, 2-way on the rear doors, and 2 6x9s in the rear deck, all while having true stereo sound field. I'm wanting to use a DSP. Well, it's a very interesting question, and it's actually going to depend all on the tuning. And I will probably pretty much tell you the answer is yes and no. True stereo is 2 channels. Quad is 4 channels. And of course you have 5.1, which is 5 channels in the subwoofer. But true stereo is only 2 channels. But what you can do, in fact, we always talk about a front stage, rear fill, is you can tune all the high frequencies and get your sound stage up front tuned exactly the way you want with the DSP, using time alignment, using equalization to make sure you equalize the left and right channels independently for the best results. The other thing you can do is if you're going to run rear speakers, you probably don't need components in the rear, because in the rear, you don't want to hear any of the high frequencies or vocals. You don't want to pull that sound stage to the back of the vehicle. So I would definitely say if you're going to do this and you have rear speakers, do not play any high frequencies through them just for a little bit of rear fill. But it's definitely overkill. There's kind of this phrase that we always like to say is the KISS theory. Keep it simple, stupid. And no, I'm not calling you stupid. Just keep it simple. The more speakers you have, the more problems with time alignment you're going to have, the more problems with comb filtering. You also have a big problem if you get too many speakers. The sound comes from everywhere. Now, to give you a little bit of an example of that, when I first started doing retail back in about 1984, yep, that was a long time ago, there was this company out there, and they make great speakers. They're still in business to the day. I think you've probably heard of them. They're called Bose. They had a whole philosophy called direct reflecting. So what direct reflecting meant is some of the sound hit you directly, some of the sound would bounce off the walls, the ceiling, and the floor and come at you from different directions. So it really encompassed you, made it sound like there were more speakers in the room than there really were. So that is one theory, and then of course you've got the 2-channel audio guys that just have 2 speakers only. And what was really interesting in retail is what I found out was people that didn't have Bose speakers wanted sound coming from everywhere around them. People that did have Bose speakers wanted a good center image, and they didn't have it. So you can't really have the best of both worlds unless you have a true DSP system that has a true independent or, basically discrete channel recording for each channel. like a home theater system, the 5.1, we're not going to get into the Dolby Atmos or, the THX or any of that crazy, encoding processes. I mean, some of these systems are up to 12 channels. But in those systems, they record the music specifically for each channel. That way you don't get, if you see something on TV, you shouldn't hear it coming from behind you. That's basically what it boils down to. The things you do hear coming from behind you in home theater are things that are moving around you or crowd noises or ambient noise. So I think if you're looking for a true good image on your vehicle, probably I would eliminate the 6x9s in the rear and just run some type of smaller speaker in the, the doors, like you say. The components definitely not needed for that application. And something else you can do to help break up the rear is you can wire the left and right of the rear only out of polarity, and that will help scatter that image so it doesn't pull it to the back. So great question. Jeremy, do we have another one? Or are we about ready to bring out some guests? Aaron Rickards, I think that is. Trying to use a port box calculator, how do I determine the net volume without knowing the port displacement beforehand? What volume am I going to use, gross internal? So cool question. So it depends on the manufacturer of the speakers. We always give you the build to dimensions of the box, so you don't have to do any pre-calculations. But if you're using an aftermarket program to design an enclosure and it tells you you want 1.5 cubic feet of airspace, and then you need to add for the displacement of the port, you need to do a little calculations. What you're going to have to do is figure out the area of the port. That's the size of the opening. You're going to have to figure out the length of the port. Then you're also going to figure out how thick of material you're going to make that port out of. Is it going to be 1/4 inch thick PVC? Is it going to be a cardboard tube? Is it going to be 3/4 inch MDF? So you need to add all that port area together that the port and the port material takes up. Add that to that 1.5. We make it easy for you guys in all of our manuals. We give you the build to size, and then we just tell you the dimensions of the port, tell you the area of the port and the length, and let you work it out from there. That's pretty much the simplest way to do it. So another good question. So I got these guys like running in circles over here. I think we need to bring out Denny, Eddy, and Stacy Stowers. Guys, come on out and welcome to the show.
All right.
How the heck are you guys?
All right. How you doing today?
Pretty good.
All right.
I think you guys got some exciting stuff to talk about tonight about this cool event, Kicker in Bricktown.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Why don't you tell everybody what the event is, when it is, and kind of what they can expect from this, because it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's a 3
got the name Kicker in it, so it's got to be fun, right?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're right. It's a 3-in-1 special. It's a car show, audio comp, and a hop off.
What?
A hop off.
Do you jump off the chair here?
No, you can if you want to. You probably will.
What is a hop off?
With the hydraulics on the cars and everything.
Oh, cool.
So, that's always fun to see.
Yeah, I've never actually seen one of those in person. Just always seen them on TV and on YouTube. So that would be really cool.
It's fun. You got to stand back a little bit when you do it, but it's, when you're watching and stuff.
That's usually the videos I see is when something flies off one of those vehicles. I think there's one of them, the hubcap flew off and hit some guy in the head. So, yeah, make sure you bring your helmets to this event. So now, hopefully, we don't have any of that going on.
As you can see some of the videos.
Hydraulics are pretty cool. I mean, it is a really neat, crowd, and it's a whole different way of customizing vehicles. And like I say, everyone's got their own style, and some of those vehicles have absolutely incredible styles. Now give me a little idea on, the hop-off like we're doing here. What are they trying to do? Because I know there's, it's a competition. I mean, you always talk about, world records, and, what is the goal of this?
The goal of that is basically, if they're using sticks, they're measuring for height. Usually the goal is to smash the back bumper on the ground. To do it without weight or with weight, there are different classes for each competition.
Oh, cool.
And it is basically showing off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Pretty much.
It's
something tells me that's kind of hard on suspension and the frame. So did they have to do anything special to the frame on these vehicles?
They are equipped with, the frames are boxed in, A-arms are reinforced, lower arms are reinforced, custom springs, custom suspension completely.
You almost had that balanced on the back bumper.
Yeah, it'll stay up there.
That is the...
that's the goal?
That's the goal.
Yeah, that's the goal,
is to stand it up on the back bumper.
And I noticed you've got an extension on the rear axle as well.
Yes, that's for balance. That will get you to stand up on the back bumper, and to do it without weight is the optimum goal. but they
And you
do
say without
usually-
weight.
Extra batteries,
Okay.
extra weight in the trunk, anything to keep it up.
Typically, how many batteries does it take to do this?
That's a good question.
That's a really
You
good
can go
question.
anywhere from 6 to what?
16.
Yeah. I mean, in the
Sounds
big
like an
batteries.
SBL
Big batteries.
competition car.
Yeah,
Yes.
and not little batteries.
They're not
the
little batteries, they are big.
The big batteries.
And you know, we always talk about proper wiring. You know, seen some of these vehicles, and you see the sparks flying out of the trunk, and you see the fires, and sometimes the wiring on these are not always up to caliber.
Yeah.
Yeah, some are.
Don't cheap out on the wiring on
Yeah,
your
yeah,
hydraulics either.
Yes,
That's why
exactly.
when we
don't
have-
don't cut corners.
Yeah, when we have the competition, you know, we'll have to keep everybody, you know, at bay,
Yeah.
away from the vehicles.
keep
and
everybody
stuff.
fenced
So,
off.
Yeah, we'll keep them fenced off from it.
Well, that sounds pretty exciting. And you know, obviously, you know, when you're doing a vehicle like this, you got to think about, you know, the bottom side of the vehicle too, because that actually looked like a beautiful car, both underneath and on
Yes.
top. These guys really take pride in their vehicles.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do. That is a lot of custom work on a car that you don't see the bottom of until they come out to compete.
Which is really awesome. So that's going to be a lot of fun. How many do you think we're going to have there? How many of these hydraulic vehicles?
Hard to say. Oklahoma City's got a lot of competitors.
Really?
I would hope anywhere from 10 to 20 at
Oh, cool.
least. We got a good group of people from KC, Majestics Car Club, coming down. They're going to be the ones running it. So they bring in a lot of people. So with them and with Oklahoma City and the Rollers Only, hopefully they can come together and put on a pretty good show.
And did you hear what he said? He said Oklahoma City, not Tulsa, like I did a couple weeks in the promos.
It's all right.
That was
It's
my
all right.
fault.
It's all right.
If you know where Bricktown is, if you live in
Yeah.
Oklahoma, you know where Bricktown is, and that's going to be July 16th.
July 16th, the show does go on from 10 to 8. Yes, it is a long day. You know, if it gets to be a point to where we slow down a little bit, we might end it a little early, depending on how many people show up and stuff. We're just going to play it by ear.
I don't think you're going to end it early. It's going to be packed.
You know, I think it'll be a pretty good show. We're going to try to come down here July 2nd and 3rd weekend. There's a showdown here, so we're going to come down here and do some more promoting for it and stuff.
Cool. So we
And
guys
so-
are going to have you back.
Yeah, if you want to.
Awesome.
That'd be great.
Well, cool event, and obviously it's going to be, you know, Bricktown, July 16th. If you guys are from out of town, if people are coming in, you know, they want to stay, I'm sure there's plenty, you know, hotels available and just kind of the Oklahoma City downtown area, right?
Yep, in the Bricktown area, we got a couple of hotels that we have.
You used to have like a host hotel.
Yeah, Staybridge Springs. Is that what
Spring
it
Hill.
was? Spring Hill. Sorry,
Yeah.
is that what it was? Yeah.
Spring Hill.
Then there's a couple of hotels around that area that we booked. It's like a block of rooms, special rate. So if you just give us a call, we can point you in the right direction. You know, if you want to get a room for the weekend or the night.
Yeah, if you're going to make a little bit of driving, that's definitely going to be worth the driving. You know, bring your wife, bring your girlfriend, bring the family, make a whole day of it.
Yep.
And you know, I'm sitting here thinking about, you know, the hydraulic vehicles, and you know, more questions just keep coming to mind because I find all that stuff interesting. You find people do different things. It's always interesting. You know, obviously you were saying that they box in the frames. What about the wheels and tires? I mean, those take an incredible amount of abuse. Is there anything special going on there?
There's really nothing special going on with the wheels and tires. It's usually, they usually have a set of knockoffs, Dayton's. Wheels and tires, it's just it's a chance they take, I should say.
Right.
And they've got it down to a science. They know what it will and what it won't do. That's why you usually don't see those cars with what they call rubber bands for tires.
Okay.
Low profiles.
Gotcha. Okay.
These are normally
I
have.
thought that's what you meant. I just wanted to make sure.
Yes. These usually have a decent size tire on it, so it can take the beating.
100 pound of air pressure in the tires. We're reading
Right.
some of the comments right here.
Oh yeah.
How much?
It says 100 pounds of air prure in the tires.
Good grief.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely going to be some stiff tires there. But,
Yes.
you know, and the wheels, I mean, the Dayton's with those spoke wheels, they actually withstand that abuse.
Oh, yeah.
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 That's crazy. Because I'd really be interested in how many, you know, G-forces, you know, go into those wheels.
If you've never ridden in one or gotten one, it's fun.
No,
Sit
you know,
there in the
I've seen them at
passenger
the car
seat and
shows.
just-
You know, we
Oh,
go
yeah.
to a lot of the, you know, big car shows like the Grandmaster Roadster show in California and the LA Auto Show, and they've always got, you know, vehicles there that paint jobs in these things are absolutely gorgeous. But they're always set up before we get there, and of course we leave before they take them down. So really haven't ever been around that. So I'm definitely going to have to come down to that event. And it's not a far drive from me. It's only about an hour and 10 minutes.
Nice.
So that sounds like it's going to be fun. So going to be there pretty much all day.
Yes.
Are we going to have some food there?
Yes, we got about 8 to 10 food vendors coming out, every different type of food you can imagine. So if you like Philly cheesesteak, it's going to be there. Hot dog, hamburgers, whatever you want.
I think you're talking my number.
Taco guy, they're going to be
doing
there. We got dessert people going to be some ice cream for the hot day.
You're going to have the guys doing the deep fried butter like they do. At the
I'm
Oklahoma
not sure
State
about
Fair.
that.
I don't know how you deep fry butter, but I have had the deep fried Oreos and deep fried Snickers, and
Yeah.
that just should be illegal. Those things are too
Making
good.
me hungry again.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's going to be a neat event. Anything else exciting going on?
Well-
Besides the food vendors, I mean, is there anybody else?
We
gonna
got a couple of vendors from Oklahoma City coming out. We got Audio Midwest, Brad Manning and them coming out.
Yep, Brad, looking forward to seeing you down there.
Yeah, they got a pretty big display coming out. We got
Yep.
a couple other people that are
They always do
still
a good job.
waiting to sign on, but we'll have about maybe 6, 7 vendors out there. We're trying to fill the parking lot up with more show cars and audio comp and a hop off than we are vendors. Because
So-
we want everybody to see a good variety of everything.
About how many cars do you think we're going to see all together? I mean, so you got 3 different events. You got the hop off, you got the audio event,
Yeah.
and
the car
just
show.
a car show.
It's not just a car show.
Okay,
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
there we
it's
go.
a good-
Not just a
yeah,
car
it's
show.
Big car
We,
show, big.
Not just a car
Not
show.
just the car show.
I didn't mean it that way.
I
Sorry.
got you. Well, with everybody,
With everybody coming, we like diversity. We want all different types of cars, from your daily driver that's very clean, very classic old cars, all the way to the hot rods, all the way to the exotics. We like to see everything.
So obviously, you're going to be giving away trophies and prizes.
oh yeah,
Yes,
There's
sir.
going to be a lot of judging
Yeah.
going on.
Lots
Yeah.
and lots of judging.
yeah,
Lots of judging.
and not just by us either.
Yes.
The
Yeah, I was
people
gonna say,
walking
I've
around.
judged
people
some
walking
car
around.
shows before, and I'll be honest with you, I don't want to be a judge.
Yeah, it's
I
hard.
want to be able to
We-
enjoy the show. And the show that I judged, we had a car show, and we literally, I kid you not, we averaged it out. We had about 90 seconds on each car. You look at the time we had to judge them and how many cars. We only had 90 seconds to judge these cars. And that's not enough time.
That's not enough. And
No.
we used to be the
It's not
judges
fair.
for our car shows, and we're not allowed to do that no more because it's biased. And so we'll pay some people to come in that aren't familiar with the cars here in town.
Well, obviously, I'm not familiar, but like I said,
So-
I'm not judging.
You don't want to judge.
Nope,
is what
I
you're
just wanna
saying.
go watch
I think
it.
you
He
said that
he
like
wasn't-
3 times
I think
already.
He said
Huh?
he doesn't want to judge, but
Money. We'll pay
money
some
talks.
money. It pays well.
$20 is $20, right?
Oh, it pays more than that.
Not, but, hey, no.
And
We'll
we're
have to
always
talk
looking for
later.
judges. You
So
just
what
got-
are the classes? I don't know if we had something to put up. It's got all the different classes. I don't know if Ernie was able to pull that up before.
We got about maybe 27 to 30 different classes,
Yeah.
and all of them range from 4x4 to import to luxury car, and they go from custom to mild. Mild being a couple mods here and there,
Custom would be your full interior change, full paint job, full graphics, completely modified car. Other than showroom, clean and
Right.
a couple of mods here and there, no. Full custom is everything that's been touched on the car,
Yeah.
even under the hood.
Now, I'm just out of curiosity, because I don't know. I've actually been to some shows that they have, unmolested cars, like survivor cars, that they would actually bring in and just, that nothing's been done to them ever. Well,
Yeah,
obviously,
like a-
maintenance stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The maintenance.
we get
there's-
that. Sometimes a lot of people want the full custom more, but there are some people that think
The purist.
their car
Right.
their car is a show car, and
I
who,
can't leave anything alone.
who am I
I've
to
gotta
say it's
change
not?
it.
If you think it is, then you
Yeah.
want to come to the show, come to the show. I mean,
I usually have a class. We have classes for those particular cars.
yeah.
We usually call them classics. Usually you see a lot of classics.
That's probably not the only thing you call some of them, but
Right.
And there's some people out there, you know, that done just
Yeah.
a couple things here and there to their car, and that's okay. I mean, we're all out there for the same reason. To have
Love of
fun,
cars.
meet new people, and for the love of cars, you know.
well, for those people, I mean, can they still register for this show?
Yes, we do
How do
everything.
they do that? And what's that cost?
It's $30, and we do all of our car show registration day of show. So when you come there, that's when you pay. I'll be the first person you see through the gate, so we'll take care of that. It's usually cash or card when you're coming through. Like I said, then we'll give you a registration form. He'll put you in the right class that you need to be in, help you out. Most people know that. There are some people that need help because we got...
Might be some newbies out there that have never done this.
Well, we got different categories too. So if you just got a car, you could be in a luxury car or the import car, you know, or
Different classes.
Yeah, different class. And, you know, same with trucks or anything like that. Bag class, lifted 4x4. Yeah.
Just real quickly, guys, you got about 12 more minutes to register for the giveaways for tonight, so make sure you do that. And actually, when it comes to the classes, what do you guys usually give away for awards?
We'll give away first, second, and third. And the trophies are...
For 30
pretty
classes.
nice. Yes.
You guys are going to be busy.
Well,
Yeah.
no, not us.
Not us.
Judges.
Well, you'll be busy too, just in a different way.
Yeah.
Judges and his wife, Bobby Stowers, she's the one who does all the computer work lets us know who's first, second, and third. So
That's
as
awesome.
soon as our judges, which give her the paperwork, she puts them in the computer, then he reads them off, and at the end of the day, I shake their hand and hand them an award. And
How cool.
some people are very nice.
Some
and
people are not.
Some people are not.
Yeah,
but it's
been
cool.
there, done that.
We've had to explain some things to some people,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
It's all fun.
It's all
Yeah, and-
fun.
You know,
We're all there for the same reason, of course, you know.
you know, judging wise, just to drag this out a little more, I might as well talk about some audio. You know, especially like the car audio competitions. You know, I've been a certified I Ask a Judge, but you know, as we mentioned on some of the other shows, we won't get into. We kind of don't see eye to eye in a couple things, and just it's different opinions. There's no right or no wrong. But I always told them that I would judge two things. I would judge RTA because that's just reading a meter. You know, and it even tells you the number because there's no, lateral movement
it's on the
there.
screen.
Second thing I would judge would be install because there's a rule book,
Yeah.
with fusing. And, there's some creativity there. And, I have made some people unhappy with some of the things that I didn't like as a judge. So, but for the most part, that's just judging the install, the integrity, the cosmetics, the functionality. And then, of course, there's sound quality, and my opinion is it's like colors on cars. Everybody's got their own idea, their own favorites. So, I refuse to judge. I'll tell you if I like it or not, but, that's the big question. People, what's the best speaker to buy? Well, there is no answer. It's whatever your ears and your, pocket will,
There is an
wanna
answer
support.
for that. Kicker.
Kicker.
That speaker
Well,
right
yeah.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
there. Yeah, that
That's the correct
speaker right
answer.
here.
You can make some headphones out of this. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
And
So-
that's just a 10.
I know we were talking about it earlier, and we're not going to mention it, but there may be somebody else kind of exciting showing up. So just keep that in the back of your mind. There may be
Yeah.
something else, possibly. We can't
Yeah.
confirm to it, and we don't want to, but there could
Yeah.
be some
He's a little
interesting
guy.
guests there at the show.
Oh, yeah.
Very
Hopefully.
interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
It should be a fun day. Yes, it's going to be a long day, but, out there, it's in the middle of that Bricktown, the Dodger Stadium parking lot.
That's actually the
so-
Dodger Stadium parking lot. If you know where that is, it's just
So-
to the east of that stadium.
Yeah, and
So it
should be nice out
You know, Oklahoma, and you're like me and get sunburned. Bring some sunblock. Bring an umbrella. Bring a good hat, or you're going to end up in the hospital. You're going to end up having chunks carved
Yeah,
in your
there
arms
you
and
go.
head like I have. So
Wear your sunscreen.
yes,
Yeah.
We're
In fact,
lots
I-
of sunscreen.
I learned my lesson the hard way.
yeah, it's just one of those things. I love being outside, but the outside
Yeah.
doesn't seem to like me. So, play it safe, play it smart. And obviously, there's going to be vehicles there selling drinks and water. Definitely hydrate because we know in Oklahoma it gets hot. And
Yeah.
hopefully, you won't have 60 and 70 mile an hour winds like we had a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we can't have that because, we got a lot of people that want to bring canopies out, and we do not mind you bringing your canopy out as long as it's weighted down, But if we start seeing that the wind's picking up or anything, we'll ask you to take it down.
And actually, just out of my curiosity, I haven't even paid any. I don't do the sports thing, the baseball. Anything I do has audio or a motor in it. But what is that parking lot made out of?
Just
asphalt.
It is asphalt,
It is
okay.
asphalt. It's
That one's concrete, isn't it?
Yeah.
That
it's
one ain't
concrete.
that one ain't blacktop.
That one's
It's
not
concrete.
Black. That's right.
Okay,
That one
so
is-
concrete makes it a little more difficult, but just a little tip, if you guys ever go to an event and take a pop-up tent and it is asphalt, I will tell you, with a good screw gun and a good screw, you can actually screw the tent right into
Oh,
the
yeah.
asphalt.
Yeah, we've seen that done before.
So, and that works pretty well to keep the tent from blowing around, because we were actually in New Zealand with 2 of the vehicles that are in a museum out here. So here's another plug for the Kicker Museum. We've got the little Nash Metropolitan, which is the owner's car.
Yeah.
And we've got a Ford Econoline pickup. We had them both in New Zealand, and we had a little bit of windstorm come up from out of nowhere. And we had the Metro, we had the Econoline, and then we had the pop-up tent. The wind picked up the pop-up tent, went over the Econoline, and smashed down on the roof of the owner's car. So, yeah, just like I say, if you're going to bring tents, make sure they're secured. Cause
Oh, yeah.
you never know with Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Concrete, just bring a lot of weight. Bring 4 kids to hold on to
Yeah,
the
there
legs
you
of
go.
There you go.
the tent.
4 kids and
We'll have water out there for everybody too, so we'll make sure everybody stays hydrated and stuff. It should be a good day.
there
And
will be. There will be pictures taken.
Oh, yeah.
Many pictures.
yeah.
So obviously, this is just one of your events. What other events do you guys do and where?
We got a show this weekend in Kansas City, June 25th.
KC Showdown.
KC Showdown's our 5th year show. It's Saturday from 10 to 5. It should be a pretty big show for this, for us, because this is, like I said, it's our 5th year, and this was our first show. We first started out doing it for charity, and we just went on from there. And then I picked up Stacy and his family. His daughter Ezra is one of our photographers. Like I said, his wife is a computer guru. Then we have my wife Jennifer, my kids Madeline and Dylan. They all come out and help out. It's a family held by everybody, and we got a bunch of friends that are on our No Love Car Club group that we have help out with us. So we got about 15 to 20 people who help us this show. We got, of course, the Base Wars audio comp. We got a motorcycle stunt team coming out. We got a 15 by 50 foot KC Showdown banner celebrating our 5th year, so you can take a picture with a balloon arch, so like it's a winter circle, so you can pull up and take a picture and get all that good stuff, and we can print it out for you. Hopefully we can print it out on site. We're working on that. Then we got plenty of food vendors for that one too, and that's held at the Monarchs Stadium, the Legends Field in Kansas City, Kansas.
That's a neat area, that Legends area.
Yeah,
that's
it's
right
really
by the
nice.
NASCAR track.
Yes, it is.
Right across the street.
The American Chopper guys used to have a restaurant there.
Yes.
Yes.
We used to do an event for a distributor, Santa Fe, one of our audio distributors, where they bring in several different manufacturers in, and all the dealers would come in, and we'd have a big event. So it was always a lot of fun. It was one of my favorite events, and we actually talked with Jeff about doing this again, Jeff Henshaw, the owner. It's been about 5 or 6 years since we've done it. Obviously, he's expanded territories and just didn't have time. But we would set up Saturday morning, and then we would have the rest of the day to kill because the show was on Sunday.
Yeah.
So me and the other reps, we'd all go up to the Legends area, and we'd go out to eat, and then we'd all go watch a movie. And the Legends Theater, they actually serve you alcohol in the movie. Which,
Oh yeah, yep.
That's the Warren Theaters do
It's
that
still
around
there.
here too.
It's still there. Yeah.
The American
was-
Choppers is no longer.
Yeah, I
there.
know that wasn't there the last time I was there. And there's a Nebraska Furniture Mart there.
Yes,
Oh, it's
In
there is.
fact, I actually worked for Nebraska Furniture Mart before I went to work for Kenwood, and I remember driving up to the Legends, mall area, and I looked up and I was like, see the sign, Nebraska Furniture Mart. I'm looking at this, why would they put a furniture mart in a mall? I'm just thinking, like, this is not their style. And then I realized that wasn't a mall, that was the store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2
Yep.
stories. I think they had 24 checkout lanes.
Yes.
That was a lot bigger than the one I worked at in Omaha, Nebraska. But they used to do car audio. They don't do any audio anymore. In fact, it was kind of interesting as working for Kenwood, 26, 7 years ago. They did about $3 million a year in Kenwood alone out of one store.
Wow.
So it was crazy. I
Nice.
remember selling car audio. In the year and a half I worked there, I had several days that were between $30,000 and $50,000 in sales in car audio
Man.
in a day.
That's good money.
That's insane.
That was a lot
Yeah.
of fun. So yeah, it's kind of a shame. All things change, I guess. And
Yeah.
they don't do that any longer.
No, you go there and it's just furniture more or less now.
Yeah,
Furniture
and they
and
do a lot. I
computers.
think that the one carpet warehouse they had in Omaha was 400,000 square feet, which is about double the size of this whole facility, and it was 6 stories tall.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause this
it-
place
that
is
is
pretty big.
Pretty much fly
Insane.
airplanes in that place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, you got all kinds of things going. I think we forgot to mention one other thing that's going to be in Bricktown,
Us?
and
Kicker.
us.
Oh, kicker. Yeah, of
How you
course.
forget that?
Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
Right
I was
there in
waiting
front
for
of
it. It's like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah, my
Kinda
bad.
lead you
I'm sorry
into
about
it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, JW, not only is he awesome behind the electronics back there, but he's an amazing truck driver.
Driver of
he
the
will
year.
be bringing the XRV, and if you guys don't know what our XRV is, that's our extreme recreational vehicle. So it is a mobile showroom. We've got examples of a lot of our gear, just about everything we offer. It's a really cool truck, and then they've got something we call the Wall of Boom in there. Have you guys
yeah.
seen that or
Yes.
heard that?
I
I
have.
have not.
He hasn't had a
I
chance
have
to see
not.
it, but I
He
have.
snuck up here without me,
Yeah.
and he got to hear it, so
That
left me
thing.
hanging.
I'll tell you what, the showroom, they turned that on for me.
Oh, the one up front? Yeah, see, that one's
Yeah,
got
that thing
16
is-
15s, and the Wall of Boom's got 12.
That thing is crazy. But
So,
yeah.
it is, it's pretty crazy. In fact, we'll give you an experience of that, and we're going to move your hair.
Like
That's how you know you got a system.
how you know you
That's
got
what I
me.
want to know. That's what I
But
want
yeah,
to see.
we're
Yes.
happy that you guys are coming out, and we're trying to bring a lot of people out so that way we can show you guys that hey, we can put on a pretty good show, and we
Well,
would
we're
like to
looking
get you
forward to
guys
it.
up to
We'll have
Kansas
a-
City one year.
Yes.
Hopefully when we get our indoor show going on, so that way it's not hot and everybody stays cool.
And where do you think the indoor show might be?
It's a place called Bartle Hall. It's in downtown Kansas City. It would
Actually,
be
been to, I think IASCA had some events there a few years ago. That's probably the last ones I was at. I haven't been to an IASCA event in forever.
they used to have audio comps there. I don't know why, and I've actually seen audio comp inside and a hop off inside. Now they don't allow it.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because when we were talking to them, we asked if we can have all this, and they were like, well, frowned upon, and they were like, car show would be the best thing for us.
Yeah, because I know they're pretty particular about running vehicles inside.
Yes.
And they can
Yeah.
only have less than a quarter tank of gas.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I
That,
remember.
and they want your negative battery cable off, and
Yeah, and you can't
Tank
really
taped up.
do hydraulics without batteries, can you?
No. And you can't run those audio systems.
So what we used to do, we would disconnect the battery into the hood, especially in some of the big events where you had to do that. And of course, they'd look at the battery's disconnected.
Yep.
Well, what they didn't realize is we had more in the back of the vehicle.
Yep.
'Cause you had to play the audio somehow.
All right.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
What
How
they
you
don't
playing
know
that?
doesn't always hurt them, and
Yeah.
it shouldn't hurt anybody else. But I remember one of the events I went to, an indoor event, was actually the Sinsheim show in Germany, which it was a whole. You talk about this, 3-day event being a long event. This was like 10 days.
Damn.
It started on the Thursday at 8 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night till the following Sunday. And it was shoulder to shoulder. Everyone was smoking unfiltered cigarettes, and they had indoor open header autocross. So that was one event that you couldn't speak by the end of the day because your throat was just raw
Yeah.
from yelling and with all the smoke. So
can only
that's
imagine.
probably why they frown upon that kind of stuff. is
Yeah,
they
I
figured
can see
out
that.
But it'd still be a lot of fun. So,
Yeah.
guys, it looks like it is 8:30. Our contest has ended. So those of you guys that haven't registered, watch us next week, 7:30, Kicker YouTube and Facebook channel right here, Kicker Live, so you can register and try to win again next week. And make sure you watch. If you did register, make sure you hang on for about 15 minutes. We're going to let you guys know who won. And then you'll get an email from Bill Frog, and you'll need to respond with your name, your address, your telephone number, and it's got to be a shipping address, and, of course, your shirt size, so we don't get you the wrong size shirt.
2X tall.
So
so you
cool. Well, I suppose, since, we kind of do audio, we probably better talk audio a little bit. I think
Yes.
we got another special guest standing by in the wings, remotely in person. So I think, Jimmy Pittman, are you out there?
I
Jimmy?
am here. What's up?
There he is.
There you go. He's got 12 people under him. Remember that.
Yeah, looks like you're sitting out in front of an event right now. Where the heck are you?
This is Slamology. I'm still there. We're still set up.
He got left behind.
Yeah, that was a while ago. And if that is slam, it's kind of nice that the picture was taken then when it wasn't raining.
It was. We actually had 5 tents set up, and that's kind of the backside where we were selling merchandise back there.
That was a lot of fun. So what can you tell us about Kicker in Bricktown? What's going on your side of things?
Well, I've had a lot of people reach out to me from, the surrounding states and area. I believe it's going to be a pretty big audio show. I hope everybody in Bricktown's ready for a really loud crowd, because it's going to get pretty loud there. I can say.
Yeah, if it's anything like Slamology, we're going to make a lot of people unhappy. But hey, that's kind of the fun of it.
Yeah.
If they don't like it, they can leave, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
One way or another, they'll hear us or they'll feel us, so.
So
it's
this is going to
definitely
be kind of the same venue as we had at Slamology. There's all different vehicles and.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Absolutely. Sorry, I was going to say, when it comes to Base Wars, Billy's basically set it up so there's a class for everybody, all the way from your beginner running just a small 10-inch kicker or your guy that's running 24 kickers. So, it's pretty well something for everybody. So you're not getting put against somebody that's got 12 12s and you got 110. There's classes in different places for everybody.
Yeah, that just keeps it more fair and a lot of fun. And like I say, if you get outclassed all the time, it definitely takes the joy out of it and people quit doing it. So you guys have been doing a really good job, especially putting events on all over the country. I mean, it is amazing how, I don't know how you guys even keep track of everything that's going on. But give me an example of some of the classes. I mean, you kind of said that, but I mean, some of the rules that, in some of these classes, I mean, for those of you that have never competed in audio, tell them, about some of the safety things and, how the speakers are.
Sorry, go ahead.
How the speakers and amps are mounted. I know there's, rules about where the speakers can be in the vehicle and open windows, doors. What are some of those rules and what are some of the fun things?
I'll be honest with you, when it comes to Base Wars, we really don't have a lot of the rules that some of the other organizations have. I like to say, in my favorite phrase is, Base Wars is about bringing the fun back to the lanes. We got
what you brung.
Yeah, there's not a lot of rules. Billy's got it set up between cone area, port area, and your amplifier that determines what class you'll be in. So you're not going to be running, like I said, against somebody with 110 against 12 12s or something like that. So it helps keep you individually set up there. And then we have difference between music classes and burp classes. And that's the people that like to pull up and just did that one note wonder, turned it up really, really loud, then turned their system off and go park it over there and never
So
play.
it has nothing to do with drinking beer. That's a different class,
No,
right?
no. Different burp there, sir. But and then with the music classes, we have one class called Hot Seat, where it allows you to just play whatever you want to, and the meters generally somebody sits in there and the meter's placed right at chest level. And you just play it and you let it run, and it's a 30-second music average, and we let it play. And then we have things from Twister, Hurricane. There's all kinds of different classes that one starts from 0 to 19 hertz. Then we've got one that goes up from 20 to 29 hertz, and then 30 to 39, and then 40 to 60. So, it kind of pretty much has a variety for everybody.
But you've actually piqued my interest on the first thing you said, 0 to 19 hertz?
Oh, absolutely.
How does that work? Explain that one, because that's even new to me.
Very, very, very windy. We have some people, I want to say over Slamology, we had a gentleman that was doing, I would believe it was a 158 or 159 at like 20 hertz, maybe 19 hertz. It's just amazing. And they hold it for that whole 30-second music average. It's pretty fun to watch. And the cars are just clapping and breaking stuff, and it's really fun, actually.
It's carnage. It's great.
Yeah,
It's broken glass and torque. Yeah.
Well, it's like my vehicle. Every time I turn the damn thing on, I break a windshield. I think I'm on windshield number 4 now, but a lot more building, a lot more reinforcement needs to go in there.
You're definitely testing the limits of physics in your vehicle at that point.
Well, with 815s in there, of course.
Yeah, 815s. That's crazy. So what's the biggest system you've ever seen? The most wattage, the most speakers, or maybe it's 2 different vehicles, but what are some of the extremes that you've encountered in these events?
Personally, like in Base Wars, or personally, there's a difference there.
Well, tell us both. Why not?
Well, personally, I want to say one of the biggest systems I set in would have been like
Dan
Robert
Curran.
Jackie has the Death Bounce bus that he has, and he has like I think there's 818s in that thing. With the whole outside of it's just lined with 6.5s and 8-inch subs. It's probably one of the biggest that I've been in. And I mean, there's just wattage wise, you would be surprised by the wattage and the power that some of these vehicles have in there. I mean, they have close to almost 100,000 watts in some of these vehicles.
And I've saw some of those out there. I mean, absolutely crazy. 100,000 watts of power in one vehicle. When you
Pretty
consider
close. I
your
mean,
average.
Clippo ran in our lanes this weekend, and he didn't have his door on there. I believe he's got 12 15s in there, and he didn't have his door in there, and he did it was a 81 or 82, I believe, without his door on there. A 182, or 181, sorry. It was pretty nasty. I mean, that was by far one of the craziest vehicles that I've sat in.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely brutal. I mean, 100, 20 years ago, we couldn't even hardly imagine 165 dB.
Yeah.
Now we're up, and if you guys know physics, you know what it takes to get, that much louder. Every 3 dB is twice the power, twice the cone area, and you're talking 165 to 181, 16 dB difference. I mean, that's crazy.
So far right now, Carlos Rodriguez, and I'm sure everybody knows who he is, he holds the record with Base Wars. He's at 184. That's the loudest vehicle that is ran in our lane. And next to that, we have Greg Corbin and then Kyle Rutherford that just ran this weekend as well. So, they're all right there within neck and neck of each other.
Can you sketchily or briefly describe what's in a vehicle to do 184? How many, what size, how much power do you know?
Well, I've seen just a little bit of everything. It kind of really depends on the vehicle, the equipment that you're running. So I've seen, like, I used to have a Nitro, and I was doing 164 or 163 in a Nitro with just 415s.
Jeez.
So, I mean, it really depends on the vehicle, how it's built, what the power is, what the alternators, the wire, the batteries, just everything that's involved with it. You can't just expect to throw one battery, one amplifier, and maybe a couple subs in there and hit them type of numbers. It takes a lot of time, a lot of work, and a lot of effort.
Yeah, a lot of tuning, a lot of trial and error. I know, because
Absolutely. Well,
you're talking
one of the favorite
a tenth of
things.
dB makes all the difference in the world sometimes between winning and losing.
It really does, yes, sir. It's one of the funny things is they always say test, and when you think you're done, test some more.
Exactly. And the weight of these vehicles has got to be just crazy. I mean, you've got to start thinking, if you're going to do something like this, everything else in the vehicle that you need to beef up. I mean, obviously, suspension, the tires. And we had a vehicle here that I don't know how much it weighed, but it had like 12-ply tires with 100 pounds of pressure in them, and they looked like they were flat. I mean, definitely needed duals or another axle or something.
Have you ever gotten Stephen Duncan's van yet?
I have not, no.
Pretty nasty. He can play. I mean, he can play the really high notes that really, really hurt you, but he can play lower notes where you're just going to feel the wind and the aspect. But the overall
hair trick kind of vehicles, right?
Yeah, the overall. I don't know how to say it. The whole vehicle is just phenomenal. The time and the effort that he's put into that thing it's amazing, and it's kind of a shame because I don't know if you've ever seen Stephen Duncan's truck. Excuse me, Stephen Duncan's truck. He has a beautiful truck with 915s in that thing, and it's nasty. I mean, it will hurt you. And he kind of
believe that with the 915.
He's kind of pushed the truck over to the side and forgot about the truck, and all his focus is on the van now. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the van's amazing, but I kind of miss the truck a little bit.
Well, I think that's really cool, and I will say that my first time to Slamology. There are probably not a lot of people that focused a whole lot on aesthetics with their vehicles, if you know what I mean. It was kind of like the Mad Max, SPL wars, and all that mattered was loud.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them people that just forget to put the time and effort. I mean, after they make it loud, now it's time to go back and clean it up. Hide all the wires, make it look pretty. And a lot of people just forget about that. They get it loud, and that's all they care about.
Yeah, well, there were some vehicles there with some exceptional wiring.
Oh, absolutely.
I posted some of the pictures on my Facebook page, and I just took random pictures. I wasn't calling anyone out for anything, but it was really interesting to see the different levels of, attention to detail that people have. Some people probably didn't know what the word detail meant, and other people, these were, show quality vehicles that, played really, really loud music. So what is the weirdest setup you've ever seen? I mean, you see the walls, you see the flat walls, you see the walls that, with the speakers that's lined, you see the vented boxes with the port on one side. What are some of the weirder things that you've seen that people have tried? Because, we may not have found the magic number yet. I mean, there could be 190s out there, and you never know. Maybe there are.
I mean, I'm sure at some point in time they're going to keep going up with the technology and everything we have. Numbers are only going to go up and get louder and louder and louder. I don't know. I've seen some pretty crazy things. Like I've seen a box before where a guy had like four 8-inch subwoofers in a box, probably about maybe a 12 by 12 box with like a 3.5 foot port on it. Like an external port that just came out like 3.5 foot behind it.
Almost like a horn?
Yeah, it basically was, because I mean, it was like 4 8s mounted around it and then a big, huge, long port on the outside. I mean, and I've seen some weird stuff. I've seen people use sonotube, which is the stuff you use for concrete. They use that as their ports. I've seen some weird, crazy things that you just wouldn't think would work, actually does.
As long as it's rigid and solid and, you can, secure stuff to it. We've actually used some, really, really big PVC for some of the projects here. I'm talking in 10, 12-inch diameter PVC with like, 3/4-inch thick walls. That stuff's really expensive. But just different projects. We're always trying, to come up with new things. And in fact, if you guys have seen our TV woofers, that's the tubes. I mean, that's kind of how those started. It was PVC, and we just, refined it and then, of course, made specific enclosures. But, you do whatever you can to mock it up and make it work. And like you say, then you go back to the detail later once you prove the theory and the math and get through all that.
I've even seen people go as far as they're starting to go to like HVAC stores, and they're buying the metal foil tape that is supposed to help with your airflow around your air conditioner, and they're lining their boxes with it because they're realizing that it helps with the airflow over their boxes.
Yeah, with the surface resistance,
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I mean, just crazy little tricks that you see people do. It's kind of amazing and kind of weird at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, don't be afraid to try, and if it doesn't work, try something a little bit different. You never know. That's talking about that restriction to airflow. Even with just a normal enclosure, if you're building ported enclosures, I've seen guys, a port that's like 1 inch tall and 14 inches wide. That's where you get that same type of problem with the resistance to airflow in the corners. That port actually appears to be smaller to the speaker and it actually tunes it higher because the air doesn't flow quite as well. So I can see that being a difference.
Absolutely.
SPL is all about moving that air, and especially the hair tricks. So.
I noticed Drew commented a little bit ago and said, I believe he said that his vehicle is 8,200 pounds or 8,200 and something. So
that's a lot of weight.
Yeah, so.
That's a whole lot of
Yeah,
weight.
that's a lot. That's heavy.
Yeah.
In fact, I could be wrong on this number, don't quote me, but I think, when we were doing Alma's Bronco, it was in the neighborhood of 13,000.
It sounds about right. I actually got to see that thing in person.
I've worked on that thing more than I probably care to admit, but it was really interesting, and that was kind of my first introduction into SPL. I remember we tore the quarter panel on that thing about 3 foot long, just tore the metal from everything flexing. So we had to go back in and beef that thing up. But I will tell you on that Bronco, I did build the rear suspension. It was a piece of square pipe, 4 inches square and 3/8 thick wall. That was the rear suspension slid between the axle and the body.
So reinforced.
Last I knew, Munson still had that vehicle.
Yeah, I think still does. In fact,
Nathan Munson, yeah.
We had 44 batteries in that thing. We had them mounted underneath and inside. It was crazy. And of course, 44 woofers that look very similar to this guy up here, those Gates L710s.
Oh, you gotta tease me.
Yeah.
The ones that were made specifically for that vehicle, for her.
And then the doors and the windshield. It was, like I said, we had the 300 amp. Like I say, that was kind of my first introduction into, big SPL. And stuff like that always fascinates. I like to learn different things, and is it for me? No. And is it for everybody out there? No. But for some people, that's their world, and power to you guys. Self-expression, have fun with it, and kind of like your shows,
Oh yeah.
So, talking about weird, what's some of the weirdest thing you guys have ever seen show up to your events for vehicles?
Rat rods. I mean,
Yeah, that took a little bit of getting used to, but
you can get some rat rods out there that are just crazy.
Yeah, love the creativity.
Yeah.
Love the thoughts that go behind some of the stuff you see inside a rat rod. I'm like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, it works. I get it.
I've actually, like you say, I saw, I can't even remember where it was, but they actually made the spokes of the steering wheel out of ice grips.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Just all kinds of cool stuff. So that's kind of cool. You get to see something, interesting and new and different. And I guess we really didn't talk about motorcycles in your event.
Yeah,
so.
we got motorcycles.
We get motorcycles. We understand that there's we love to have them out.
Yes.
I have friends that have motorcycles, but I also understand sun's out, it's time to ride. And
Yeah.
Hats off to you. I understand. You just want to get your hair in the wind and go.
Excuse me?
What'd you say?
For some of us, don't have the,
Ear hair, right?
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Jimmy's been riding.
Yeah, Jimmy's been riding, as you can tell.
We got
It ain't gonna be there
Baitward
forever,
actually-
Jimmy. It's going away.
Baitward has a class for motorcycles too as well. It's called Iron Horse. We will actually
Really?
measure your
Yes, they do.
TPs off of there. So, yeah.
Nice.
Now that sounds cool. Now, obviously, at Slamology, I think you were probably pretty busy, but there was a bike back in kind of the vendor area.
I've
that
seen
was just
videos, but
unbelievable. I mean, it had 6 8s on the front fairing, and it had 3 on the top of each bag lid. The amplifiers were actually inside the fender, reverse with the backs off, and plex. I mean, it was really, really a cool bike. And once again, I posted it on my Facebook site, after we got back from the show, and that thing was loud. That was stupid loud. And I don't even know what they had in the bags. I couldn't get close enough to even ask that because it was so loud.
Did he meter it?
I don't know if he did or not.
I've seen some really, really nice motorcycles with some very loud builds on them as well too. So I mean, it's pretty cool. I will say, like Slamology, it was an amazing show and we appreciated being there. But we ran 207 cars in the lanes and then 400 and I think he said 430 reruns. So
Wow.
we didn't get any time to
busy
leave
day.
that booth. We literally stayed there the whole weekend long.
Yeah, it was really a lot of fun and really cool.
It was.
Now,
It was.
talking about SPL and something different, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, this is long before a lot of the competition days, with really strict rules. I think I was in either Iowa or Illinois, and I was at an event, and basically it was an SPL event. You paid $20, and you could run your car through it. We're not talking, a huge, national. It was just a little local thing. And one of the guys came up to the table at register. He says, "Can I, run my exhaust?" And no kidding, I'm dead serious.
Two-step.
And we kind of looked at each other, and I looked at the owner of the store that was having the competition. He said, "Well, $20 is $20. Sure, why not?" So he brought his vehicle out. And we set the microphone 3 feet back from the tailpipe on that thing, and as soon as he fired that thing up, we looked around and you could see people in the crowd sprinting towards their vehicles to come get their vehicles to do tailpipe SPL. So it was not a sanctioned event and not planned, but it was actually kind of fun.
And nowadays we call
Anything
that
can
a
happen.
two-step.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that because I kind of harass some of the guys when they pull up in the lanes and they'll be stepping on the gas to keep their RPMs up to make sure their voltage stays up. And I always tell them, hell, your muffler's louder than your car is. Why don't you put the mic back there?
Yeah, running an open header.
That's not nice.
Well, cool. Well,
That's Jimmy
hang
being
on
Jimmy.
just
Jimmy.
a minute, Jimmy. I think it's about time to give away some prizes here, and we're going to keep going with this after we give away the prizes. We want to kind of keep this close to 8:45. We're a few minutes behind. So I'm going to call on you guys to call out some winners. We're going to roll them across the bottom of the screen. And Stacy, I'm going to let you call out the third prize winner.
Third prize winner is Brian C. from Mississippi.
Brian C. from Mississippi, you are the third prize winner. Congratulations. You're going to get the EB400, the koozie, and the t-shirt. Watch for that email from Bill Frog. Name, address, shirt size, telephone number, all that good stuff. So congratulations. Second prize. What do you think, Denny? Who's going to be the second prize
It's
winner?
Ken A from, I don't even know how to say that.
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan. Come on,
Oh,
man.
okay, Canada. Ken A from Canada. He's winning
That is
number 2.
awesome. Like I say, it's nice that our northern viewers
Yeah,
up there can
nice.
participate in these things as well. So congratulations, and
They need to come down.
It's always nice to have some people tuning in from other countries, and that's actually kind of interesting. Maybe be kind of interesting to find out what they do for events up in Canada.
We checked in on that.
You did? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
tell us about it real quick before we get to the grand prize winner. What did you find out? Because now I'm curious.
We actually looked into doing a show up in Canada, and there was a couple people up there that come down to World of Wheels
Yes.
every year from Kansas City and Omaha and Chicago, and they said, just call them and they'll put us in touch with the right people.
Cool.
So
Yeah, I got
maybe
some
one day.
I got some friends up there that could help you too as well. Some ex-teammates that actually do a lot of car audio stuff up there in Canada as well. So
Yeah, I think that'd be a pretty
Yeah,
cool idea to go
that'd
to.
be
Then we
great
could say,
show.
hey, a different country.
Yeah, actually, from one of our dealers in Canada, did a TV show years ago and had him come down. It was kind of interesting because we were in Detroit in this, kind of warehouse building working on these vehicles. And we were there for 10 days and driving around. And, about the 4th or 5th day, he said, what is going on? He said, I've been here, 4 days. And he said, I have not seen one set of custom wheels, period. And I just basically, I said, have you seen the roads? Would you spend money on wheels and drive on these roads? He's like, no, you have a point.
I'm sure you're talking about Oklahoma roads, right?
No, that's what's Detroit.
Oh, I mean, Oklahoma, man, y'all need to pave some streets.
Yeah, well, I'll agree with you there. We don't have the best roads.
Yeah.
either.
Hey,
Wow.
Well, that's definitely going to bring us to our first prize winner. And Jimmy, why don't you go ahead, if you can see the bottom of the screen, who's going to be our grand prize winner tonight?
it looks like John P. from Texas.
all
Cool.
right, John P.
John P. from Texas. Like I say, all you guys, congratulations. Thanks for, tuning in, and watch for that email from Bill Frog. And what else is going on, Jimmy? Anything else exciting in your future besides the event we're having down here in Bricktown? What else you doing?
Well, I will be leaving Wednesday to go down to Biloxi, Mississippi to Scraping the Coast.
Oh, that's always been a good event, too.
Oh, very good. It's going to be another scorcher year this year, unfortunately, but I always look forward to going down there and hanging out with teammates and seeing all my friends and stuff. So it's kind of actually a vacation for me. I don't get to go very many places that I'm not running base wars or whatever. So for once, it's going to be fun.
Give him hell. He's leaving us, our 5th year show, and he's not going to be there.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. I mean,
Well,
it's a lot
you know,
50 years.
Taking a
Appreciate
vacation.
50 year show, and the dude's not even running
Yeah.
base wars. Not going to be in hometown. Man.
How funny.
Well, that's
You're
because
cutting out,
somebody
cutting out
changed
your
the date
microphone.
on me. Let's be truthful here. I was going
Yeah.
to be there before you
That was
changed
my
the
fault.
date.
Yeah.
That was my fault. And before we get anywhere else, I'd like to thank Jimmy and Billy for introducing me to you guys and Jeremy.
Yep.
You know.
They're all awesome people. And
Yeah.
like I say, we always, get good teams and put them together, and there's always good people out, and it's always, it makes the events better when you get a bunch of good people,
Yeah.
working together. And speaking of, I'm going to ask Tim a question back. Tim, you've been to Scraping the Coast, haven't you?
It's hot.
Yeah, it's hot, he says.
Very hot.
It is hot,
I think
yes.
I've seen his truck out there before.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought you took the truck out there, didn't you?
Yeah, we had the 48-footer out a couple times.
Yeah, and I think you need to get your truck back there now that you're getting that thing done. 'cause
Yeah,
the
you
thing
just
is
come down
gorgeous.
and join me this weekend. Come on, Tim.
He said no.
Jimmy
he's
says,
all
come
right.
on down. He said, you
He's
can go
chilling
with
in.
him.
He's
He'll
chilling
enjoy
in
it.
the AC. He's all right.
Too awesome. Well, we're going to go ahead and open it up. And not that we haven't been opening it up before, but do we have any of the viewers out there that got any good questions for these guys? Any of the 3 guests that we have, or myself? If you guys have any questions at all. Is there an under construction class? I have seen those.
We do have that in ours. Every once in a while, we get enough requests for it. We will. We always.
Jimmy, didn't you have a class like that?
Call them the up-and-comers.
Like in progress or something?
No, not necessarily. We don't.
Aren't all of them that way?
I'd go say for the most part, people who run in the lanes, it's a lost art where people really. Well, I don't say everybody, because some people still actually go through and they finish their builds, but a lot of the SPL competitors, they don't really care what it looks like. They just want to see how loud they can get it.
And I will definitely agree with you there. I will say probably the loudest vehicle that I walked past was that DS-18 vehicle that was, maybe about 75 yards from your tent.
Yes.
I had to walk a big beeline around it because it absolutely rattled all the bones in my head. I didn't know a vehicle that far away could be that loud. So if you guys want to hear some loud stuff, go to some of these events, the Slamologies, the Base Wars, and of course, the Bricktown events. So
Come to Base Wars. Come out there. There'll be some loud cars here.
Yep, the people in Bricktown are in for a rude awakening. And, we were talking about Alma's Bronco, a little bit ago. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard the story about when we took it to the Hard Rock for one of our events at SEMA. And we told the people at the Hard Rock, this is the loudest vehicle in the world, which it was at that time. Definitely gone way beyond that since then. But we told them, hey, we got the loudest vehicle in the world. They were all excited. So we were getting the whole show set up. About 4 in the afternoon, we fired that thing up. You're just doing like a test hit, like a drag racer would do. Just make sure everything is working. And it was about 7 or 8 minutes, the manager came running out of the hotel. You guys can't do that. You can't do that again. It's like the whole switchboard lit up. People thought it was an earthquake. And like, we told you.
Yeah.
In fact, this is all in video. You can actually scroll back the old Kicker videos and actually see this whole event unfold. But it's like, we told you. He said, I had no idea what you meant. He said, you can't do that again. He said, we were trying to have meetings. He said, stuff was falling off the walls. So we out-rocked the Hard Rock, or as I affectionately nicknamed it after that, the Soft Rock.
We had that problem with Base Wars last year at I-70 Showdown at the mall.
At the mall.
The cops came, everything, tried to shut us down, but they couldn't do nothing about it because, we're under contract.
Yep, you've got permits.
Yeah, we're meant to be there. And
I know,
Well,
the
it didn't
wall
help
of boom.
though. The lady that was complaining about it was the mayor's mother.
yeah, the mayor's mother, yeah.
Oh,
They
really?
They eventually got it
All
shut
the
down.
backstories.
a little
Yeah, we did shut it down a little early for them, but we're moving it this year. So we're in a bigger location and out in the open, so we won't have that problem
Well,
this year.
we'll get to Bobby Ray's question here in just a second, but with the wall of boom up front, and we have to kind of limit when we run that because people in the neighborhood tend to not be very thrilled when we start knocking stuff off their walls, and that thing's in the
I
building.
remember a couple years being up there and Drew breaking out the meter when we were there.
It is loud. So, Denny, why don't you go ahead and read the next question?
If you want to enter the audio competition and the show as well, to be judged in both, is it one entry fee or double? I'm afraid that's going to be a double fee. Yeah, that one's going to be a double.
Yep. If you're double dipping, you're double paying.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to enter the show, then we can put you in the middle. Then you can go over to Jimmy and run your lanes, do what you got to do. But that's going to be a double fee. Yeah.
But it's still worth it.
Well, I mean, because you
We've
could
got a
stand a
couple that done
chance. You could stand a chance to win 2 awards.
Yeah, exactly.
Then
How that'd be some good bragging rights.
yeah.
I've seen quite a few people that actually does. They run both. They'll run his stuff and mine as well. So it's really fun.
Oh, cool.
Really, Jennifer.
Yeah, sorry.
Right.
So they go both ways. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I wasn't going to go there, but yes, sir.
AC/DC. Come on.
You got a lady here that says, "How can I get some Showdown apparel?"
You contact Jennifer Eddy online, and she'll
Yeah.
get you hooked up.
Contact my wife or come to any of our shows, and you can grab one of our shirts there.
That's funny.
And,
You guys got some cool shirts.
Thank you, appreciate it.
So it's always nice to support the event and do some
She's fun.
advertising. Stacy, what do we got next up here?
Is there a class for an extended cab truck with box below the window line?
Yeah, that was probably a question for Jimmy. I didn't read that.
Jimmy, I just read your question.
Jimmy, what do you think?
Answer that.
We have no wall classes set up specifically for that. So yes, absolutely.
Anything above the window line, what is that?
Below.
Well,
No, anything above it though.
That would be the
Well,
wall.
Would that be a wall class?
If you can still see out your rearview mirror, it's not considered a wall.
Okay.
Oh.
Some other organizations get real iffy about, it's got to be 12 inches from the roof, or certain this, or it can't be above the window lines or stuff like that. If you can see out your rearview mirror, you're not a wall. We don't care.
Okay.
All right, another
Good.
dumb question for me since I've been out of the SBL thing for a while. I know it used to be you couldn't have anything in front of the pillars. Is that still a rule?
Well, no, not really with us.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
You can put the meter wherever you want to. We don't care. You can put it as long as it's in front of the front seat location, you can put it anywhere you want. You can put it.
I was
up
actually
in-
referring to speakers.
Oh, speakers. Well, I mean, it just depends on what class you would be. We would still have a class for you, even if you have your stuff.
Cool. I know that used to be the big thing, is it couldn't go any further than the pillars. So everything had to be, basically behind the front. So
I like that bottom question right
do
there.
too.
the bottom question,
Yeah, that one right there. Is it
Bobby
possible-
Ray says,
Yeah.
is it possible to meet Denny and Stacy at the show? Well, their shows probably yes.
Yeah, you can
I meet
there.
the whole family,
those-
can't they?
Yeah, well,
Almost.
I'll be the first person you see, and he should be about
be
the
the
second or
second or
third
third.
person.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can meet me. I'll
It's
shake
awesome,
your
Bobby.
hand you a piece of paper as you're handing me some money.
Our kids welcome at the show.
Oh,
Always.
yeah.
Yeah,
Always.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Kids are free. Spectators are free. Majority of all of our shows have always been spectators are free. We don't feel the need to charge people just to walk in and look at some cars that pretty much you can go to Cars and Coffee or Car Meet and see, because most of those guys are there anyway, but they're coming to the show, and so we're like, why charge people just to walk around?
I want to back that up with one little thing, and like I say, not being negative, but I saw one kind of thing that I wasn't really happy about at the show was, of course, our XRV plays pretty loud. I mean, it's running 140 dB all day, and I didn't see him walk in, but I saw a gentleman coming out with what almost looked like a newborn in his arms.
Oh,
Please
yeah.
don't
Yeah,
subject
yeah.
your children to that,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, please.
At least let them get old enough to have the choice to run away.
I'd like to put the term lab inside the boom truck.
Ooh,
Bring it on.
yeah. There
Hey,
you go.
it's mobile. I can pick it up and move it.
Hey,
we can definitely do that.
Is there a class
We
for
could
that?
Make Wayne come and certify it.
Is there a class for that?
Yeah,
I'm sure
and
Billy
that-
can come up with something. Yeah, we put you in the extreme
Hey,
build.
loudest of the day.
We
Loudest
put you
of the
in
day.
go class. There you go.
Well, that is one thing you guys will see in the future. I have talked with Wayne Harris. He is going to be on the show at some point. We just haven't narrowed it down. So at some point, we'll get him on the show.
Absolutely.
So
Somebody know what's in
that will
Jimmy's
be
cup.
fun. I think we got time for another Diet Coke for me. So, do we have any more questions that you guys saw in the back there we need to bring up? Bobby Stower says, what's in the big trailer you take everywhere?
Everything.
Well,
Yeah,
first of
everything
all,
we
our
need.
trailer or your trailer?
Yeah,
So
which
this-
trailer,
Yeah,
Bobby?
what trailer? I'm sure she's asking us, but because she
I'm
hasn't
sure
seen
I'm
your
just giving you a
trailer.
hard time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's funny too.
she's very funny.
Yeah, mostly everything in our trailers are merchandise and everything we need to run our show. So and maybe a cards that we can bring. But that's about it. Just everything we need to run the show.
Yeah, that
She's funny.
takes a good support team and
Yes.
good amount of gear.
Oh yeah.
Over the past couple of years, I've got to work more and more with our events team, and it's amazing how much you pack those rigs full of stuff, and you always get there and it's like, God, we should have brought this, or there's always something else.
And Jimmy, I tell you, with Sonia helping him out, the wives, man, the wives
Couldn't do it without
are.
the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do it without the wives.
She, Sonia Pittman, she's Jimmy's wife. She's awesome, and if he's doing something, she'll run that show and take over. And it's like, man,
Too cool.
stepping up. I tell you
Yeah,
what.
100%. There's been plenty of times where I'll walk off and leave her just running the computer by herself, and she's fine. She'll put you in the right class. Hell, I've
yeah.
seen her. I've been sitting back talking to somebody else, and I've seen her sitting there helping out competitors, telling them, hey, open your door, roll your window up, move your visors, move your seats, and it's kind of funny to watch it,
Well, she's probably got a lot of experience at that.
How do you know about this? It's like, you only do.
She's been in the
She's
game
paying
for a while.
attention as they're
Yeah.
coming through the lanes,
Yeah.
and that's
Absolutely.
probably a
Well,
good
that
note for
been through all
competitors.
my rigorous years of competing as well.
She's just spouting off what you taught her, so that's
Yeah,
awesome.
there you go.
Well, guys, it's a little bit after 9 o'clock. Any closing words from you, Jimmy, or
No,
Stacy
we
or
just like
Denny?
to thank you guys for having us on, and
Yeah, thanks for having us
we
out.
hope everybody can make it out July 16th. Look for our other shows on our Facebook page, KC Showdown Promotions. Go to our event page, look under our events, and most of Base War shows are on their Facebook feed and their website, and you'll be able to catch up with all of us. July 16th out here in Oklahoma City. I hope to see everybody there. should be a fun day.
Yep, I'm looking forward
Hot
to it.
and fun.
No, not
Yeah,
hot.
definitely
Today,
hot.
nice
It's
cool
Oklahoma.
day.
It's gonna happen.
It's gonna be hot.
Nice,
It's
good
gonna
I
be
day.
think it was 100 today.
Yeah,
Just
it was
about.
100
It
today.
was
yeah.
100 today.
Absolutely.
So,
No,
Oh, well.
Bobby, that doesn't happen until after the show.
exactly. Well, as usual, we thank everyone for tuning in. Once again, tune back in next Tuesday night, 7:30 Central Time, to
Yep,
the
yep,
Kicker
yep.
YouTube and Facebook channel for another episode of Unmasked Live, where we'll be
think we got
just doing something else new and different, but still car audio. So,
I think we got some freebie stuff that we are
Oh.
giving away. We are giving
See?
away
Good thing you guys
some.
hung on.
We are giving away 5 free registrations to the car show, and we are giving away 5 free registrations for the audio comp, and 5 for the hop off.
Hop-off.
So if you want to jot down which one you would like to enter within a comment, and you got to make sure you're going to come, though. You got to make sure you're going to be
you got
there.
to be there. If you're
gotta
going to get
be
a
there.
registration, you got to be there to use it.
So if you send it in or direct message me and put it in on the comment section, and we'll pick some winners, and we'll get a hold of you later on, and we'll choose
Cool.
them from there. But please make sure you're going to come. Don't just say you're going to, you want to come July 16th.
Well, how about this,
You've got to
Denny?
show up.
Since, to make it fair, why don't we do this? Why don't everybody message him? And next Monday night, Denny's going to be on Base Wars Live with us. Maybe we can announce the winners then.
Yeah, that sounds good.
do that.
I mean,
Cool.
if you guys are okay with that and everything.
Yep. So once again, message into the chat box there, and let us know what category you want to be, in for the raffle, and they're going to choose 5 of each. I think it's going to be a
Yeah.
lot of fun. So that'll save you $30 off the entry fee.
Yeah, and we'll pick up that tab for everybody, so it's no big deal. Just comment below, keep on commenting on the YouTube and Facebook, and we'll get it taken care of.
Fantastic. Well, as always, we want to thank all you guys for tuning in. Anthony and Andy and Saber, all you guys, thanks for tuning in and watching the show, and we'll see you again real soon. Guys, have a great night, and 7:30 next Tuesday, Central Time, right here on the Kicker YouTube and Facebook channel.
All right.
See ya.
Yeah.
That wasn't too bad, was it?
No.